Hello, I'm Gil Zilkha. Welcome to my channel, Essential Classical Music, where we look at the best recordings of the classical music repertoire. This video is taken out of my larger video on solo vocal works. I hope you enjoy it. Now let's talk about his individual lieder. All 600 of them, if you got another, 30 hours or so. Okay, well, not that many, but let's try to cover as many as we can. I'll start by naming just a few of the most popular. First of course, you've got Erlkönig, the Earl King, really dramatic piece based on Goethe, kind of a dark story about a child who is being menaced by this mythical creature called the Earl King, and his father has to come to his rescue. Probably most famous is the piano part, which depicts the danger. It actually was arranged by Liszt into just a solo piano work. Incidentally, I have my own version of this work that you can see on YouTube, if you so please. Which includes the English translations. And then a slower piece, An die Musik. This is a soft, gentle work, which is a topic that we can all probably relate to on this channel, about how music is kind of like this safe place that we can kind of go into to get away from all life's chaos. And then another soft piece is Die bist die Ruhe. You Are Repose, which is a very gentle work. It's from a poem from Friedrich Rückert, almost 100 years before Mahler wrote his famous Rückert songs. A little bit more animated song is Heidenröslein, Rose on the Heath, which is an interesting little piece about a boy plucking a rose, who is essentially a young lady. And she's warning him, if you pluck me, I will prick you. So it's a little bit of an innocent, whimsical topic. And then On Sylvia, which means to Sylvia. It's based on the text from Shakespeare, which actually comes from Let Us Garlands Bring, which I mentioned earlier with that Finzi work. Basically speaking about the beautiful Sylvia and wondering if she is as kind as she is beautiful. Then there's a dark song, Der Wanderer, the Wanderer. This is where there's this wanderer, and he's searching for his happy place. And at the end, he's basically told, it is wherever he is not. So it's pretty cold. And then let's see, what else we have? Die Forelle, the Trout. That's the same tune the famous tune that you see in the Trout Quintet. But here you have the text of the fisherman trying to catch the trout. And it sounds a little bit light, whimsical. The final verse of poetry actually originally was talking about how this is an allusion to how young women should avoid the fishermen being the young men trying to seduce them. But Schubert actually omitted this from the song. And then you have a couple of songs that are actually written for soprano. One is Gretchen am Spinnrad, Gretchen at the spinning wheel. And this comes from Goethe's Faust. So it's about the character Gretchen. And this utilizes the piano to depict the spinning of the wheel. And then that's against the angst of Gretchen. So that's a really dramatic piece. By the way, another piece I want to mention that also utilizes the piano in that way is Auf dem Wasser zu singen, to sing on the water. And this one, there's this sort of shimmering, glistening of the waves in the sunlight that is also beautifully depicted by the piano. That's a gorgeous piece. That's sort of a solemn piece, reflective piece about how the waves, it's sort of like the impermanency of it is sort of like the permanence of life, sort of kind of this reflective work. And then finally, another piece I'm going to mention is written for soprano. It actually was a gift that Schubert wrote on his deathbed for a friend of his who was a soprano. Der Hirt auf den Felsen, the Shepherd on the Rock. And this one actually features a clarinet as well as the piano. which kind of adds to the tone of melancholy as the singer is singing about, again, the topic of longing for love that is so common. Beautifully melodic work for soprano. And then finally, in these song sets, sometimes you get the individual songs from the song cycles, like Winterreise and Die Schöne Müllerin, and especially the fourth song from Schwanengesang, the Ständchen, the Serenade. As I said, one of Schubert's most popular songs in general. Now, the first recommendation I have is, no surprise, Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau. These were recorded in the late 60s, early 70s with Gerald Moore on Deutsche Grammophon. Fischer-Dieskau was pretty much the acme of Schubert singing, of lieder singing. And that may sound like a backhanded compliment, but it's really not, because it's really amazing, the plethora of just immaculate artistic singing, and just the volume of it, the way he's able to keep it up, it's just really it's really mind-blowing. You can actually get, I think it's like an 18 CD box set of somewhere around like 400 of the individual lieder on this Deutsche Grammophon series. But I'm recommending, if you want to get your feet wet in it, this single disc, which includes most of the popular songs, including the ones I just mentioned, of really dramatic Earl King, wonderful, starkly dramatic De Wanderer, which he does so well. He's just so good at inhabiting those dramatic emotions, as well as the softer stuff too. With that secure, beautiful high baritone sound, just really gorgeous. So this is the place I would start. I do also want to recommend, sort of as a compliment, this soprano recital from Barbara Bonney from 1994, accompanied by I think it's Jeffrey Parsons. Yeah, Jeffrey Parsons. And it really complements the Fischer-Dieskau well. Bonnie had this angelic sounding sweet tone, so very appropriately she begins with the famous Ave Maria, but also the other softer songs like Du bist die Ruhe is just beautifully tender. And then she's also able to sing with nice energy in a song like Heidenruders line, as well as the songs that are really specifically written for soprano, like Der Hirt auf dem Felsen, beautifully sung with Bonnie's lyricism, and a wonderfully melancholic version of Gretchen am Spinnrad. So really a gorgeous sounding disc that I would not want to be without either. And another soprano, much earlier but more of a contemporary of Fischer-Dieskau, Elisabeth Schwarzkopf, recorded more in her prime. This is from 1952. She just sounds gloriously golden in this recording, accompanied by Edwin Fischer, who was a wonderful Schubert pianist, of course. Unfortunately, it's a little bit short measure. It's only 12 songs. But it starts with maybe my favorite version of An die Musik, just beautifully phrased. And then, for example, Auf dem Wasser zu singen, I mentioned that shimmery piano part, very delicately played by Fischer. So really the meeting of the minds of two wonderful artists who are just both great in Schubert. And then I want to go back again to Gerard Souzay in this box set. Just that he brings that kind of French chanson quality of the dreaminess and that inward quality. So especially in the softer, more delicate stuff, just really gorgeous. For example, Nacht und Traum, Night and Dreams. Very, very delicate and beautiful. But he also does well with the more dramatic songs. Like he has a very intense Doppelganger. Die Liebe hat gelogen. Love Has Lied to Me, a song about betrayal, beautifully an intense version of that as well. So this is really wonderful. Just obviously with the song cycles as well. This is a really invaluable set. And then Coming to a newer recording from 1990, what is this, 1994, I believe, or maybe 94 or 95. Bryn Terfel again, with Malcolm Martineau on piano. That virile baritone sound of his, so strong and just wonderful deep tone. He has a wonderful Earl King, a wonderful version of Der Wanderer, where there's that final kind of sad ending. He goes down on the final note to kind of add to the feeling of despondency. Beautiful set of Schubert songs as well. And then I want to go back to this disc of Hans Hodder. This is his Schwanengesang set that includes also a few lieder, which I also think are priceless. Just beautiful, calming solemnity that he brought, especially to the more reflective, softer songs. These are with Gerald Moore from the early 50s. And then as long as we're in that area of recording, I also want to mention Kathleen Ferrier. If I can find which CD this is on. Again, they're kind of spread around with the Decca recordings. At least see a few of them on here, including a beautiful version of Andi Musik, just really poignant and touching, as well as Gretchen am Spinnrad. These are recorded with Phyllis Spur, as well as a few by accompanied by Benjamin Britten as well. Generally late 40s, early 50s. Fairly good mono with Ferrier. Her voice is so strong that really doesn't matter. And then I want to discuss for Schubert lieder a couple of the sort of golden age singers, even going earlier, who were actually known more for their opera singing, but then also specialize in lieder. First of all, Elisabeth Schumann, soprano, who made these recordings in the late 20s and 30s, most of them with Gerald Moore. Again, he was just all over the place. And Schumann, she was known for her opera singing, particularly Rosenkavalier. But a really, really consummate lieder artist. Beautiful phrasing, just the way she spins those lines. For example, in the slow songs such as Du bist die Ruhe, for example, very, very beautiful. And then the songs that are written for soprano, like Gretchen am Spinnrad and Der Hirt auf dem Felsen, just really gorgeous. To me, just priceless lieder singing from another age, as well as this recording from Heinrich Schlussnus, the baritone. These were recorded also from the late 20s up into, I think, like the early 40s. Another singer who was known for his opera, particularly the Verdi baritone roles, so you can imagine a fairly dramatic singer. And he brought that dramatic element to the lieder. For example, a wonderful version of the Earl King, which is generally a piece that you want to hear in a low voice because there's the different characters that are being depicted. Like Fischer Dieskau, very dramatic as well as a beautiful tone. But I would say even more of this sort of nervous, frenetic energy and frisson that he brings to it. A very brooding version of the famous Ständchen from Schwanengesang. I believe there's also a doppelganger on here that's really dramatic, accompanied by Franz Rupp and Sebastian Peschko, and sounding pretty good in this prima voce transfer. Again, I've mentioned it before, but they kind of minimize the hiss of these older recordings and they bring more bloom to the voice. So a really exciting set of Schubert songs as well. Thanks for watching. I wish you all a great day and happy listening.